5 years ago, I was the golden boy. At least that's what everyone told me. I had just landed a highly competitive position at a prestigious tech company in San Francisco, was recently promoted to lead developer, and had the kind of reputation that made recruiters salivate. But all of that, the promotions, the future, the confidence, came crumbling down because of one woman. Her name was Dana, and if you'd told me she'd destroy my life with a single lie, I would have laughed in your face. We were just friends. Or at least I thought we were. We met through work. Dana was in marketing, brilliant in a room, magnetic in a way that drew people in like moths to a flame. She knew how to manipulate a conversation, bend sympathy toward her, and use just enough vulnerability to appear authentic. She had a way of making people feel like they were her favorite. I fell for it like everyone else. We started spending time together, grabbing drinks after work, chatting about books, music, our terrible bosses, and before long we were texting every day. I liked her, but not in a romantic way. I had a girlfriend at the time, Lily, and we were in a committed relationship. Dana knew that, but that didn't stop her. The first red flag was subtle. It came when Dana made a joke, half laughing, half serious, about how Lily didn't really get me. I brushed it off, thinking she was just being cheeky. Then came the uninvited touches. A hand on my shoulder that lingered too long. A thigh pressed against mine at a company party. Still, I convinced myself it was nothing. I'd known women who were physically affectionate in a harmless way. I told myself not to overreact. But then came the night everything spiraled. It was a Friday. We were at a colleague's birthday at a bar downtown. Lily couldn't make it. She had a late shift at the hospital and I went solo. Dana was already tipsy when I arrived, draped across the couch like a queen on a throne, eyes scanning for me the second I walked in. I remember sitting there, in our tiny apartment, staring at the screen like it was in another language. I kept thinking, this has to be a mistake. She wouldn't do this. She couldn't do this. But then came the meetings, the HR inquiry, the suspension from work, the look of devastation on Lily's face when she asked me if it was true. I swore on everything I had that I didn't touch Dana, that she kissed me, that I pushed her away. But Dana was smart. She had screenshots of our texts, selectively cropped to suggest we were having an affair. She had bruises she claimed I gave her that night, though they looked days old. She even claimed I followed her into the alley behind the bar and assaulted her. I was stunned, frozen, and it didn't help that I'd left the party after her and had no one to vouch for me. My world crumbled fast. Lily left. My company placed me on indefinite leave pending investigation. My reputation was obliterated online. Redes sociais, tweets, LinkedIn gossip. People I hadn't spoken to in years blocked me. Family members stopped replying to texts. I wasn't even charged, there was no police report. But it didn't matter. The rumor was enough. For 6 months I lived in limbo, alone. I stayed with an old college roommate who barely spoke to me. I spiraled. I drank. I lost 20 pounds. I thought about suicide more times than I'd ever admit aloud. I tried everything I could to clear my name. Text records, timelines, even the bar's security footage. But the alley where she claimed it happened didn't have a working camera. And HR? They didn't care. They wanted it buried, quiet. So they offered Dana a settlement, put me on unpaid leave, and eventually, let me go mutually. And Dana? She got promoted. The rage simmered under my skin every waking hour. The injustice of it. The precision of her lie. She destroyed my life with one accusation, and no one cared about the truth. And the worst part? I still didn't know why. She had everything she wanted, her job, her Matt answered on the third ring. His voice was hesitant at first, guarded. I could hear it in the way he said hello, like someone who'd been burned one too many times and wasn't sure if the fire was about to start again. I introduced myself carefully, cautiously, and mentioned Dana. There was a long pause. Attention stretched across the line like a drawn wire ready to snap. And then, softly, like a man sighing through his scars, he said, "She ruined your life too, didn't she?" That one sentence changed everything. For the next hour, Matt and I swapped war stories. His experience was disturbingly similar to mine. down to the timelines, the tactics, the whispered rumors she planted before dropping the final hammer. Only his story had a physical component. Dana had accused him of stalking and emotional abuse after he broke up with her. She had planted text messages on his phone. Messages she sent herself from a burner account. The case was dismissed, but not before he lost his job, his friends, and nearly his freedom. "She's a sociopath," he said flatly. "A manipulator who knows exactly how to twist the narrative until you're the villain and she's the victim." And just like that, I knew I couldn't let her get away with it again. But I wasn't going to confront her. That was pointless. People like Dana don't break under confrontation. They thrive on it. No, if I wanted justice, I had to be smarter. I had to be patient. I had to dismantle her world the same way she dismantled mine. Quietly, methodically, and with a smile on my face. So I started digging. I spent weeks creating fake social accounts. I befriended her coworkers, her new boyfriend, even her boss's assistant. I played the part of a flirty, successful marketing consultant from LA. One of Dana's coworkers, a girl named Trish, was especially loose-lipped after a couple of online wine sessions. That's how I found out Dana was gunning for another promotion, this time to regional marketing director. She was putting tea. I hacked into her cloud storage. Not hard, thanks to her reusing old passwords I'd found in Matt's case file. I found her campaign drafts, notes, meeting recordings, even private conversations about her coworkers. I didn't just find dirt, I found dynamite. She had manipulated ad statistics, stolen creative ideas from a junior designer, and even included plagiarized content in her pitch deck. But I didn't stop there. I contacted the junior designer, under yet another identity, and encouraged her to review Dana's deck after hearing a rumor that some of her concepts had been used. She did, and she was furious. I sent her everything anonymously along with timestamps, file data, and internal messages. The company opened a quiet internal investigation. I watched from the shadows as Dana's perfect image began to show its first cracks. Still, I wanted more. I wanted her humiliated. I wanted her ruined. So I went further. I traced the burner number Dana used to text herself fake threats in Matt's case. It was deactivated, but I tracked the VoIP service and subpoenaed the records under Matt's ongoing civil case. He'd recently decided to sue her for defamation, and now I was quietly helping him behind the scenes. The data showed what we already knew. The number was registered to Dana's home IP address. I forwarded the evidence to his lawyer. Then came the final blow. I created a detailed exposé under a pseudonym, complete with evidence. How Dana had falsely accused at least 2 men of harassment, the queen of victimhood, stolen intellectual property, tech manipulated her way HR departments, the internet exploded. Deceit. Twitter lit up with a freelance investigative journalist who had covered corporate abuse stories before. Clients pulled out. He called me within 2 hours. The junior designer went within 2 weeks with her claims. The article dropped. Matt's lawsuit was picked up by multiple outlets. The court of public opinion sentenced Dana before a real one ever could. And me? I just watched. I saw her boss release a statement about a full internal review. I saw her boyfriend, whom she cheated on, according to more screenshots I leaked, break up with her publicly. I saw her name stripped from the company site and then quietly fired. Still, she didn't know it was me. Not until the day she showed up at my apartment. She looked unrecognizable. Her hair was messy, makeup smudged, eyes red from either tears or sleepless nights. She stood there in the hallway like a ghost, trembling. "You did this," she whispered. I smiled. Not cruelly, not triumphantly, just calm. "No, Dana," I said. "You did." She stepped forward, maybe to hit me, maybe to cry, maybe to beg. I closed the door in her face. That was the last time I saw her. Now, 5 years later, my name is clear. Lily and I never got back together, but I found someone new, someone kind. I've rebuilt my career under my real name. I even started an online support network for men who've been falsely accused and had their lives derailed. But I keep one reminder of Dana, a screenshot of her final company bio page, right before the scandal broke. It sits in a folder on my desktop called Justice, because sometimes, when the system fails you, justice isn't something you wait for. It's something you take. The end.